va a permitir a transitar por esta época difícil, esta coyuntura económica de grandes dificultades para todos, con miras a cumplir las metas de 2015. Para todos los colombianos ha sido realmente un honor que Colombia sea y haya sido ya los anfitriones de esta gran cumbre regional. Muchas gracias.
Ahora es un placer presentar a nuestros panelistas, a quienes solicitamos se acerquen al escenario a medida que vamos mencionando sus nombres. Señor Daley Harris, director de la campaña de la Cumbre de Microcrédito. Señor Reinaldo Marconi Ojeda, gerente general de Fin Rural. Profesor Muhammad Yunus, director ejecutivo del Grameen Bank. Y al presidente Alejandro Toledo. En este panel ellos discutirán algunas propuestas de políticas que en el mes de marzo fueron llevadas a consideración de un grupo de expresidentes latinoamericanos. El moderador para esta conversación será el señor Sam Daley Harris, director de la campaña de la Cumbre de Microcrédito, a quien le cedo la palabra.
Thank you very much. Let me give a little background and then we'll start this conversation. President Toledo has launched an initiative to develop a social agenda for democracy in Latin America. And he's gathered, well, the last gathering was more than 12. You'll update us on the new number. Ex-presidents from Latin America. They've gathered in 4 countries so far. And they're addressing health and education and energy and climate change and many, many other issues. And they want to bring, I hope I'm getting this right, an agenda for Latin America for the next 20 years to the current presidents of Latin America. I believe in the fall at the Ibo-American Summit in Portugal. And in March, President Toledo invited me to be one of 3 panelists addressing microfinance. So I asked leaders from Latin America in microfinance, what proposals should I bring to Sao Paulo? And so we're going to discuss 4 of the proposals that I brought there. And I want to read the 4 proposals briefly, and then we'll touch on them one by one in a conversation. Here are the 4 proposals that I brought. Now let me also say, the group of ex-presidents may not choose any of these proposals. That's why I brought President Toledo to this plenary, to encourage them to consider some of these. So the first one was for me, actually. It was that the ex-presidents and the current presidents would commit to having this region lead in successfully reaching and empowering the very poor, including beggars and prostitutes and thieves in the poorest barrios and slums of Latin America. So we'll discuss that one in a moment. The second and third come together. The second are these, that we would create in Latin America a regulatory framework that not only allows microfinance institutions to collect and on-lend deposits, but also one that doesn't require an ownership structure that pushes microfinance institutions away from the very poor, and I'll say more of that in a moment. The fourth came from Chuck Waterfield of Microfinance Transparency, that countries should legislate either the enforcement of declining balance interest rates, that is, flat interest rates would be illegal, or alternatively, passed truth in lending legislation requiring all lenders to state the annual percentage rate, APR, on all loans purchased by their client. There are other proposals that I presented, but in name of time, let's just address these. There's been a bit of talk at this summit, and we're going to go to the first proposal, that we in Africa, we in Latin America, want to catch up and do our part to catch up to the Asians. That 85% of all the clients reached shouldn't be in Asia. Their share would be more like 66%. The share from Africa and Latin America wouldn't be 15%. It'd be more like 33%, given the populations. So we won't spend much time on this proposal. But what do you think about the presidents from Latin America, past presidents, current presidents, committing to a goal for this region in reaching the very poor, a number and a time by which a certain number would be reached in Latin America? Who would like to address this one first? Well, there's the microphone. Let's go to Mohammed Yunus first.
Well, I see it in two different levels, question that you posed. One within the framework of microcredit discussion, and another beyond that discussion. If we go beyond the discussion, because that's where global commitment is, we are in a very strong framework which is called Millennium Development Goals. And this is all endorsed, all signed up, all presidents are there, all countries are there. We don't have to bring anything new for them. First, they have committed that poverty will be reduced by half by 2015. What are they doing about it? When they start doing things, they cannot just pass up microcredit, because there's not too many tools to which you can bring up. So as long as you're serious about your commitment to Millennium Development Goal number 1, there are 8 goals. Just number 1, reduce poverty by half. So if you keep on emphasizing, because this is already committed, this is all signed, sealed. So go on that one. Remind them that yes, this is what you have to do. If you're doing that, what you have done in year 1 and all the way to year 8 or 9, now that we are running, today is year 9. Where are we right now? Are we delivering what you promised in 2015, how much gap there is? So this is all included in that package. We have to do that. Then, the next question, if you want to raise a new question within that framework, when are you bringing the poverty to 0? Because 15 is done, it's halfway done. You committed, you have to come to the halfway part. So if you are missing it out, you have to run faster so that you can catch it. If you are not doing that, then you are not fulfilling your commitment. The next question is, when is 0? Put a date for 0. Half done is date already fixed. So if it is 15 halfway, what about 2030, where each country will be arriving at 0 point? There should be no poverty at all. So this is the issue. Are we serious about it? And are we monitoring it? How far are we? Are we one of those countries who will be fulfilling this goal? And I can tell from Bangladesh, we are on that, one of those countries will be achieving this goal. We are right on the track. And if this financial crisis didn't hit us, probably we would have achieved that goal, number 1 goal, before 2015. So with this financial hit that we got, maybe we'll be a little bit shaky, but still we'll make it. Still we are very confident that we'll make it. We'll be one of those countries. So if just stay with 1 goal, there are 8 goals, each one of them is important. We hold them responsible for that. Because this is our goal, citizens' goals. It's not something that somebody imposed on somebody. This is what we want, and this is what will get delivered. If they're not doing it, we have to do it ourselves. So we cannot just sit tight and go, oh, government is not doing, it's not a good government. We can do it too. As citizens, we have responsibilities. So we cannot just settle our eyes, well, what can you do, our government?